What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tirfon Orbital. So today I would like to talk about an install that I completed on a Solo Sabers ScratpTec. So listen, I'm going to try and watch my language. This is a freaking rad hilt. And I may be a little biased because Jeremy is... my guard dog is barking. I may be a little biased because Jeremy is a very, very good friend of mine. However, this hilt is, it's rad. It is a beautiful beast. It's a big hilt. It is a rad hilt. I'll say rad about another dozen times during this video. But yeah, this is Jeremy's first full production run. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure. I should know these things. It is awesome. So it was an absolute pleasure to watch this hilt come to fruition. Jeremy is a very, very good friend of mine. We talk on almost a daily basis. And during the design phase of this hilt, I was privy to some of the previews and where he was at with the design. And I was really, really excited to see this thing come to life. And I'm really, really happy, was happy for Jeremy when this dropped. He has since done, another couple of production run hilts. Some handmade hilts are coming out of his shop. So it's been really, really awesome watching his career, evolve into different facets, right? He's not only designing chassis, he's installing lightsabers, but now he's designing his own hilts. Now he's, laser etching stuff. So it's really, really cool and to watch that happen. I'm very happy for my buddy, right? So anyhow, we're here to talk about the hilt and we're here to talk about the install. We are not going to come into Fusion. This chassis, I thought it would only be appropriate and right to put the chassis that was designed for this hilt in it, right? So this is Jeremy's eco version of his chassis for this hilt. Jeremy also designed a very, very, very awesome looking reveal chassis for this as well. This has been another thing that I've taken great pleasure out of watching is Jeremy find his aesthetic in the hybrid chassis space. So there is a hybrid reveal, crystal chamber reveal chassis for this hilt as well that looks equally as fantastic as the eco chassis. So kudos to my man, right? So anyhow, with all that out of the way, enough kissing Solo Sabers, but let's come up top and talk about this hilt. Okay, so here she is. This big, beautiful beast. This is the ScratpTec from Solo Sabers, okay? This hilt is freaking awesome, all right? I love when I can tell, right? So I can look at a chassis and I can tell who designed that chassis. Obviously, I mean, a lot, most chassis designers are that way, okay? Most of them. I look at this hilt and I knew it was designed by Jeremy. I mean, I saw some previews of it, but I can totally tell that this has got Jeremy's name all over it, right? With the exposed crystal chamber, this thin neck section, putting that Canon Y-esque control box on it. It's just a really, really rad hilt. So I'm completely neglecting to mention that this hilt was also weathered by Austin from Astoria Workshop. Austin is very, very well known in the community for his weathering. He also weathers props. He's heavily into the, the Zelda, creation of Zelda props. And this was done, he did a great job on this. Okay. There is some battle scarring in the emitter here, right here. There's some other just light battle scarring all the way down the grip of the hilt. Obviously, the entire hilt was weathered, and I think it looks great, right? He did a great job with this. Something that a lot of people don't take into account, in my opinion, is weathering, right? So weathering is also an art form in and of itself. In my opinion, you don't want a hilt to look like it was purposely weathered. You want it to look like that's been knocked around a little bit, right? And Austin always does a great job with his stuff. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Big, beautiful hilt. All right. Let's take a look at this chassis. All right. So here is Jeremy's chassis that he designed for this hilt. I did print this in-house. This was done in a matte black PLA. Okay. Jeremy did also incorporate some channels for neipixel strips in his chassis. So I've got two 2020 neipixel strips in this chassis with a piece of Mylar in front of it to help with a little bit of the diffusion. All right, here is that awesome, awesome exposed crystal chamber reveal in the waist section or the middle section of the hilt. He also designed a freaking OLED, external OLED. I mean, that's pretty rad. We don't often see that, right? But that is a great, great feature. And then there's another like secondary 2020 neopixel strip reveal up here as well. And that's got obviously a 2020 strip with a piece of Mylar in front of that. Okay. And there's our battery tray. Battery is already in this guy. All right, so I'm going to take this battery out. So I know Jeremy and I know his installs. And I know that he typically installs his negative up towards the emitter. But because I'm difficult and I'm just like a creature of habit, I have installed this chassis with the negative side down towards the speaker. Okay, so the spring side is your negative and that is down towards the speaker. It takes a protected 18650 battery in this build, right? So you want to put your battery in that battery tray. Hit your kill switch. All right. Here. Looks like you boys seen a lot of action. So there are those two neopixel strips. Okay. There is that OLED, really cool OLED. Oops. Let me try that again. There we go. There is that OLED. Okay. I also took the liberty of putting a Tearfon orbital animation on that as well. But it's got different, there's a different animation for each font on this hilt. Okay. 2020 strips on the side, and there is that external strip as well. Lit emitter. This is from KR Sabers. Okay. But yeah, this thing is absolutely rad. Okay, so once you get your battery in place, you can put your grip on and you are good to go. All right. One of the other really awesome features of this hilt is that Jeremy designed some slots in the grip, so you still see those 2020 neopixel strips while the grip is on. Just a whole bunch of awesome little touches that I can tell were done by Jeremy, right? Lit crystal chamber up there. And that's it. Great sounding hilt. Great feeling hilt. Okay. So that's it. Let's come down to the bottom. All right. So, I mean, there's that OLED. Just such an awesome feature having an OLED screen on the outside of a hilt. Okay. So I've also tried to switch up the animations on these 2020 strips while the hilt is off. And then different animations on those OLEDs as well. Okay. It's a big boy. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. There we go. Okay. And then a spinning crystal on that OLED for the font. This thing sounds so good. All right, so let's get a blade in this. Okay, so this will take a 7/8 inch blade. You want to rest your blade on those PCB pins. Okay. The red button around back here will also serve as your blade retention. So you want to tighten that down so it's hugging your blade. Okay. And then you are ready to go. All right. Let's see what else we got on here. That sounds so good. Wow. I don't know what font this is. see what else we put on here.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi.
One more. Ooh. Not sure what font that is. There's that OLED around front. Neipixel strip in the grip. I mean, it's just such a unique... I love this revealed. I love it. That sounds good, man. All right. Okay. So that's it. That's the ScratpTec from my dude Jeremy over at Solo Sabers. Just an awesome hilt. There's just like so much going on the outside of this hilt, and it looks just so good. It looks like it all belongs, obviously. It's not like overdone. It looks really, really good. So yeah, just a great hilt. And how can you go wrong with an exposed crystal chamber reveal, right? So anyhow, awesome hilt. I highly recommend it. To the customer, thank you very much for coming back to me for another install. I always am grateful for return customers. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for trusting me with your install. If anyone has any questions about this particular hilt or anything, please don't reach out to me. Reach out to Jeremy from Solo Sabers. I'm kidding. Feel free to reach out to me. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching.